But I have my mask on, Marie.
Well, yes, we're live. So we probably should have our mask on. Welcome back to the Principals Podcast. We have Mr. Bandera in the house along with Mr. Hyam. And today we're focusing on winter sports and talking about the state of the affairs with winter sports because we have had many of our programs being able to start competition and then shut down competition. And we have some good news coming back as we start league play. So we have Doug Snyder back in the house. He's probably one of our top.
One of the top athletic directors in the district, for sure.
You are top, but you're also probably one of our highest podcast participants, mostly because of your hair.
For sure.
Thought you must
we can't convince anyone else to do it. So
I received.
So
I thought you must have highest paid there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you give us an update for all of our listeners, especially our winter sport athlete families, where we are in the WRC?
Well, first, I would like to thank all of our winter sport athletes, winter sport coaches, winter sport parents. It has been a very disjointed sports season, with shutdowns and game cancellations and schedule changes and just all kinds of things that we've had to deal with. No spectators for any home games up to this point. So it has been a challenge for all of us. I appreciate everybody's cooperation and flexibility and support. And we're doing the best we can to play as many games as we can and to keep our seasons alive and to keep our student athletes engaged and involved. And we appreciate all your support to keep things going. So on the good news front, we are able to bring spectators back into our home contests that are here at Sheridan High School in the barn. Beginning with today is Thursday, the 21st. So from here on in, all of our games will be permitted to bring in 2 spectators per player. Those tickets will be purchased online with hometown ticketing. I'm sending links out to families through Final Forms the morning of every game with the link on there. A couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, because of the size of our gym and the spectator limitations, we will have to clear the gym of spectators after the freshman game and after the JV game so that we can keep our number under what we're allowed to bring in. So it'd be nice to keep everybody in for all of the games, but we're just not able to do that at this time. So we'll ask your cooperation with that. Number two, if you're wondering why we don't send the ticket links out before the morning of the game, that's just because we don't always know that the games are going to be played. For example, we had 2 boys basketball games this weekend canceled because of COVID concerns in our opponents' programs. So our original game at Kenston on Friday the 22nd canceled. Our boys basketball game at Kirtland on the 23rd canceled. So I don't want to sell tickets to those if they're not going to occur. So usually by the morning of the game, we know that the game is going to go on unless something really bizarre happens during the course of the day. So I send the ticket links out on the morning of the game just because at that point in time, there's a better than average chance that we will actually be playing. So the good news is we'll be able to bring some fans back into the barn for senior nights and for some contests that are coming up. We're looking forward to having fans back in the barn and to create a little better atmosphere to play and hopefully get our teams ready to go for the tournament run.
Mr. Snyder, after our phenomenal fall sports season, jump through all the hoops we did for that, but doing it safely. What are some of the early records of some of our teams right now?
Well, that's a good question. The girls basketball team is 6-4, I believe, or 7-4. They've won 3 in a row now, and they had a big win on the road at South last night. So we're getting into the heart of the conference play. The boys have won 2 in a row. They're 3-5 now. They beat West G at West G last night, so that's a nice win. Our swimmers have had a great last weekend at Spire. The girls are the 4-time WRC champions. Girls have won the conference championship 4 times in a row. And the boys, with 8 mighty swimmers, finished second. So we have finished first and second at the WRC swim meet for our swim and dive team. So they both did great. Congratulations to all of them. Our wrestlers have had 4 matches so far, and we've had a lot of kids that are doing well in those matches. Our gymnastics team has had 1 competition so far, and that was at Lakewood last week. And we finished first in that meet. So we've had a lot of challenges in the winter so far, but we've had a lot of successes as well, and we're hoping for more as we move on into February.
With that being said, moving into February, are we getting close to postseason type meetings and conversations, or we're still some ways away?
We're kind of in the middle of that. With the information's coming out from the OHSAA on sectional draws and all those kind of things, and seeding, and the coaches are preparing to enter records and those kind of things for the online seeding. That generally occurs around the 1st of February, and then the voting shortly after that. So we're within about 10 days maybe of that beginning. So if you're a winter sport athlete, that's always an exciting time when you prepare for your sectional and district meets and games. So that's coming up right around the corner. And in some sports, the home sites will be extended a little farther than they normally do. So there's a better than average chance that we could host some sectional and maybe district games right here in the barn.
We're about 15 days away from the car raffle. So I'm putting it out in the weekend reflection. We are about 180 tickets away from our goal.
Yeah, I just checked it before I came in here, and we have 825 tickets that are sold. So, I was thinking about this. There's a $30,000 car that's going out for raffle, and if you have a 1 in 825 chance to win a car, you're not going to find better odds than that anywhere. Our goal all along has been to sell 1,000 tickets. So even 1 in 1,000 chance to win a $30,000 car are incredible odds. So we would encourage everyone to purchase a ticket. They're online at chardonathletics.org, $25 a ticket. Grand prize is the 2020 GMC Terrain, which you've probably seen sitting out in front of the school. Jet black, blacked out wheels, sweet looking car. That's the grand prize. And then second prize is $500 cash, which I don't know about you, but that probably come in handy right about now.
Yeah.
And guys, what would be a podcast without math involved? The fact is, the more you buy, the better your chances are. So just don't buy one, buy 4 at least. Make it an easy $100. Buy 4 of them and kind of, up your chances.
So you're saying that 4 out of 1,000 chance is greater than a 1 out of 1,000 chance.
Just a little bit of math for those of you at home. Yes.
I'm down with that.
What do we have this weekend to, I guess, watch?
That's a great question. I hope I get this right because our schedules have changed throughout the course of this week. So I'm about to head over to the middle school for some 7th and 8th grade boys basketball against the Willowickians. Drawing a blank on their name, so we're going to go with that.
Are they the Lancers or the Warriors?
For the Lancers, which is much catchier than Willowickians, I will admit. So that's today. Tomorrow, the boys basketball team is at Perry. That's a change from what was originally on the schedule. The games at Kenston, as I mentioned earlier, are canceled. So the boys are at Perry tomorrow night, 4:30, 6, and 7:30. On Saturday, the girls basketball team is at Madison at 12:30 and 2 o'clock. And I want to make sure I have the right locations here for swimming. So bear with me for a moment so that I do not give you faulty information. I want to make sure that I send you to the right place here. So Saturday, the 23rd, swimming is at Mayfield. At Mayfield, that's a 3:00 meet at Mayfield. That'll be live streamed. And you just check Twitter if you're interested in tuning into the live streams. Most high school events now are live streamed. So if you are interested in tuning into that, check Twitter, because I always post the live stream links, even for away games when I get them on Twitter. So we do have some events coming up this weekend.
Two last things. One, all of you think about something you want to shout out before we close. Do we have some new fall sport banners that are posted?
We do indeed. There is a 2020 OHSAA Division III State Football Championship banner hanging in the gym. So if you're here on a hybrid schedule day, pop your head in there and take a look at it. It's a beautiful thing. And then on that wall of fame down at the middle school, sponsored by the Chardon Gridiron Club, there are 3 new plaques up there. A state championship plaque there, shaped in the state of Ohio. There's a playoff qualifying plaque and a conference championship plaque there as well. So we got some new hardware up around the campus.
Mr. Bandera, Mr. Heim, you got some shout outs you want to give this week?
Yeah, one I've been thinking about for a couple weeks here. We've talked about Mr. Snyder being so busy with all the cancellations and things like that. About a week or so ago, our building secretary, Miss Sprinzel, was also out for a little bit of time, and that job became a job that we kind of took on, trying to figure out who's subbing each class every day. Often goes unseen, but she's working every day to fill in all these different positions or these different sub positions. So big shout out to Miss Sprinzel for all she does. She does it effortlessly. She does it with a smile. I look at some days where I see 10 teachers out and think, oh my gosh, how are we going to cover this? And next thing you know, she has it all covered within a matter of minutes. So shout out to her.
Amen.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Shout out to our school nurse, Jan Hoffman. As much as we'd like to get around the curve here on everything that we're battling here with the virus, but it seems to be still strong, unfortunately, at the high school, and she's doing great work and making sure we keep people as safe as possible and get the information out to everyone as quickly as possible. So I want to thank her.
You got any shout outs?
I do. I want to make my shout out to Dave Jevnikar and GTV. You guys know him. He's been airing your concerts and sporting events since you were in elementary school. And, we've installed new technology here in the high school gym to be able to live stream games from the barn, and with Boxcast at the middle school. And I'm an average technical knowledge guy. Dave has just done an unbelievable job getting us up and running and fine tuning it. And without him, Mr. Murray's got a lot of expertise there as well. And Mr. Nels, you guys have gotten us up and running. So that's my shout out.
That's 2 for 2. He got a shout out last week. Yeah, he's a rock star. And on top of that, so are you. I may have 2 shout outs. One, I don't know if I can recall all of the things you just said, in the sense of like they're playing at this time, this place, this location, because it's constantly changing. So again, we say it a lot, but we really mean it. We want to thank you for all that you do every single day as you're juggling so many things. I also want to give a shout out to Josie Aiken, who met with me today. We are going to start beginning next week. She's going to be featured in our podcast for change makers. She really wants to focus on the month of February and looking at all the people in the world that have been change makers for the positive. And I think it's an absolutely phenomenal thing. She's going to have opportunities for activities for the students, and to find out more information on that, she'll talk more about that next week. But she is definitely a go-getter. So I want to give her a shout out, and you'll see her next week. So Mr. Snyder, thank you again. You're about to take the camera and go down to the middle school. Mr. Bandera, Mr. Heim, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. For all of you listeners out there, be well. See.
Go Toppers.
And